You mean Celine Henry?
Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss it.
Inquire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched. Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
Going to pay for that?
Detective Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. Do you know her?
Celine? Oh, Christ. Sure I know her. She and I and Jacob, her husband, we go way back.
She was here last night?
Sure, she's a regular. Celine was a lovely woman.
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Not at first. Celine already had quite a head start.
But she attracted attention?
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
How about a name? This is a murder beef, McCall. You don't want any adverse publicity for this place, do you?
If I had names, I would give them to you. I like Celine. I'd like to see you get whoever did this. Clear on that?
Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're going to tell me.
Okay. I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Celine in those days. Guess I always have.
You know the husband?
Sure I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. He put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
So if it wasn't Jacob, then you probably let her out of here with the guy who killed her. How do you feel about that?
Stow the attitude, will ya? I tried to get onto Jacob. I rang him up. Asked him to come pick her up like usual. But he refused. And she picked some night to push him over the edge. I rang him back around 11:30, but I got no answer.
McCall, you said you liked her, and yet you've been no help at all. I want Celine's address.
142 North Union. Now get the hell out of my bar.
Want a tip? Refill my coffee next time. A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
I got a call back.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
Hey, come on!
You find the booze helps you get through a working day?
Through this intersection. Sharpens my investigatory instincts, fellas.
A smart lawyer might use that to throw out anything you collect today.
A smart man might know it's unwise to stand between the patient and his medicine.
As long as you're not falling over, Rusty, I'll let it slide.
That's mighty kind of you, Phelps. You know, you picked the wrong job with a healthy first offender.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
Always the politician.
It's not political, it's practical. Maybe the men combing Hollywood Boulevard after the Elizabeth Short murder were more interested in sniffing out booze than the clues that would have led to her killer.
Yeah, well, if only you'd been that far, boy. Betty Short would be alive, the Japs would have spared Pearl Harbor, our ancestors wouldn't have tasted the forbidden fruit.
Minor syntactical error, Detective Galloway. I never claimed to be able to prevent crimes. I only suggested a proficiency in solving them. Guess that's the drink slowing you down.
Oh my God, brother, oh brother. It's worse than I could ever have imagined. You're taking the next left.
This officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. A 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3. Identify.
Take the next left. And left. God, you're gonna kill us! Watch it, will you?
This officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th.
What's the situation?
Half a dozen shooters, sir. Cold-blooded sons of bitches. Real professionals. Witnesses say they bounced in, aced the guards, and went straight downstairs. Christ knows who they're working for, but whatever's in that vault, they want it bad.
Pick the wrong bank to rob, my friend.
We've got to clear out the bottom floor.
Come on, make a push.
You can keep that, you fucker!
I'll lay down.
They've blocked the goddamn stairs. Detective, take the elevator.
All right, I'll wait here. Don't give them a chance to regroup.
Wish me luck. Buddies upstairs are dead. That leaves you, pal.
Come on, Cole, what's taking so long?
As soon as he pokes his head out, we step up. Your move, mister.
Just you and me. You can live to tell the tale.
There he is. Blast him. There! Light him up!
That's it. That's all of them. Car 11K.
Roger on your ambulance 11K. All units, code 4 on the 211 and Bank of America, code 4.
Jesus, Phelps!
Could we try not killing the people that pay our salaries?
Okay, so go left at the next one. Straight on.
All units, officer needs help. 211 and shots fired. 391 Broadway, Mallory's Cafe. 391 Broadway. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Okay, at the next corner, hang a right. Okay, at the next corner, go right. Go left now.
I'll try the back door. Wait here a second. Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint.
You said I had to go back, Doctor.
The fires are cathartic. They allow you to confront your past.
You said the house would be empty.
Are you taking the medication I have prescribed?
You said the house would be empty. I heard them screaming.
The circumstances were unfortunate. My colleagues had made all the necessary
You
arrangements.
said the house would be empty. You're killing me.
The deaths were unfortunate, but you have dealt with death before. I want you to come to the clinic and we can deal
You said the house would be empty. How can I find peace?
Doesn't give me anything to go on.
Tiffany? The rest of the stuff is junk. Might explain the missing ring.
Don't think this is going to help us.
A regular Amelia Earhart in her day. The ring looks distinctive.
Maybe if... No. Not sure this means much.
Burglar used the pry bar. Why did you kick the door in?
You think I'm gonna climb through a broken window in a $30 suit? You got another thing coming, Buster.
Don't think this is anything.
Celine and Jacob are obviously having problems. It speaks to motive.
Crime scene evidence still weighs against it being the husband, but Jacob could give us something to go on. One of my exes drank like this, you'd be feeling the back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day about it, Phelps. I get nasty when I'm thirsty. Galloway, homicide, badge number 564. Requesting technical services for a suspected 459 at 142 North Union.
knew it wasn't safe around here anymore.
LAPD. Are you acquainted with Celine Henry, Miss?
Horgan. Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking, and she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out, and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving. But she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh, my God. I'm afraid I need to go and sit down.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
7825, code 6.
Jacob Henry had a violent argument with his wife last night. He's looking more and more likely.
For my money, if the broad keeps the house looking like that, she probably deserved it. The skipper says bring him in and keep the hacks off our backs for a while. Just ignore this turn.
Fine by me.
So it ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you've come to your senses, Cole.
I always said work the evidence. I only stipulated a connection to the BD killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is.
Up ahead, you make a right.
Okay, Phelps, we go in hard. You follow my lead. You Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
Save the dramatics
Oh, my
for
God.
RKO, pal. You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is...
Take a seat, Mr. Henry.
she's-
We're going to have a look around, then we'll talk.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
I get even the slightest hint that you're a flight risk, pal.
So who could have killed Celine? Where did she go last night, Jacob?
A bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
We know that she drinks, Jacob. Drunks have regular haunts, places they feel relaxed.
Celine did most of her drinking at home. She didn't have many friends left. Not many alcoholics do. Not real friends, anyway.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Henry?
Last night. I went to see her. We talked. Things got a little out of hand. I left.
And how are we meant to believe that, Jacob? It isn't looking good for you.
That nosy bitch from next door, Janie Horgan. She'll tell you I left. And what time.
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
You went to her house, you fought, you beat her, she left, and then you followed her.
I left first. She tried to batter me with a frying pan. I had to slap her down.
Understandable.
So you can prove that you came back here after you left your wife's place.
I came back here. I was here all night. Start work at 6:30. I'm not the going out type.
So you were here, tucked up in bed, while someone was out there beating your wife's brains out. That's all you've got?
Talk to the bartender at the Bomba Club. He'll tell you he called here last night, and I answered the phone.
We're still going to need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're going to tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
Okay. You're awful hot under the collar for an innocent man, Mr. Henry.
Call it in and get a squad car dispatched. And check for messages. I'll keep old Slugger here company.
Doesn't tell me anything. This isn't what we're looking for. Size 11s. Not everything here is going to be relevant. The oldest problem there is, what to do about the old lady.
I want to see my lawyer.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective.
Any messages for me?
Yes, Detective. In regards to the Celine Henry homicide, the owner of the Turkey Bowl restaurant at 1535 West 3rd Street says the victim was at his restaurant last night.
Turkey Bowl Restaurant. We'll check it out.
You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt...
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc.
Look, that's the latest thing.
Carruthers said she took a real pounding.
Maybe if he had been a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation now.
You're taking the next left.
I imagine that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
Women love me, Phelps. I have no complexity. They know exactly what they're going to get.
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're working a murder case. Mrs. Celine Henry, you called in?
Yeah, the name's Joe Nesco. This is my place.
You saw Mrs. Henry in here last night?
Until about 1 a.m., having dinner with a friend.
Doing more drinking than eating.
You got that straight. I called because I got something might help.
I got a
Now you
call
don't
back
wanna
for that
listen?
Universal Chorus line.
Sam's taking me out to Palm Springs for the weekend.
Mrs. Henry was seen leaving another establishment in the company of a man. Did the two of them come here?
Yeah. I remember seeing her with a guy.
Did you see them leave?
They got into his old Pontiac. Dull brown color. I got to look at the license plate. 2B8899.
You have a name? Description, maybe? Come on, Mr. Nesco. We need something more to go on.
Smallish guy. Maybe 5'7". Dark complexion. Latin looking.
What time did the two of them leave?
Around 2 a.m. They were talking pretty loud. She had a black eye. Said her husband gave it to her. Said she was going to have him committed.
Was she a regular in here?
No. I mean, I wouldn't have recognized her face among the usual crowd.
Was the place busy last night?
Sure was.
So how come you paid so much attention to her?
She had something. For an older broad, I mean. Not good looking, but vivacious, full of life. I've always found that kind good in the sack. I was thinking about trying my luck, but that guy she was with had her wrapped up tight.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Nesco. Thanks for your time.
Where the hell's he going with that?
Look, Pops, just hand over the money, okay?
All right, young fellow, okay. Hold your horses. I'm getting the money.
I ain't afraid to drill you, you know.
Hey, careful with that trigger finger now. You look the nervous type.
Plug the old bastard, Lefty. If I gotta come in there, I'm spraying lead, you old coot.
LAPD, drop the weapon!
You should check in with R&I. Put an APB out on that plate.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in. Thank you. Mendez could be our man.
He could be at that, but you don't want to cross the skipper, Phelps. Not a great move in your first day. He wants Henry re-interviewed.
How'd you like losing your cherry, rookie?
It might be my first day here, but I've had extensive experience on other desks in the department. I think you're aware of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've been a pain in the ass before today as well.
And I shall continue to be until the end of time.